Hello students. So today we are continuing with the review of C++ chapter 2 revision, right? So I finished with the SQL queries. So the remaining SQL queries you practice. If you have any doubts, you can ask, right? Now starting with the review part, that is this is from the unit 1 chapter 2. So this is the from the solve exercise question number 8. So this program is about the accept an integer number and to convert it into an equivalent binary number, right? So the integer number, the equivalent binary number, the machine language of it. So we have already seen the number system, and if you check the number system format, you will see that any integer number that you enter, you'll get the equivalent binary number of it. Now this program is important, alright, so pay attention to this. Now in the main function you can see that the index I is declared as integer type, so the counter variable I. Now here the all the variables in this row, num, decimal, okay, this array of index 20, d1qr, all are declared as integer data type but of type long int. So long int can take in a higher range of integer values, right, than int. Now so as per the program, these are the variables that are declared. So now after declaration of the variable, we need a prompt from the monitor screen so that the user will enter the input value, right? So that is enter any integer number, so that integer number will be stored in this variable num. Then after that, okay, we have to process the output, right? So binary equivalent is, so now this if test condition will be executed. So if num equals to 0, now if suppose you entered an integer number 0, so 0 equals to 0, this relational expression is holds true, so cout will display the value 0. Now after that 0 equals to d1, so 0 will be assigned to d1, 0 will be assigned to I. Then while d1 not equals to 0, right, but d1 is equals to 0, so the while loop will not execute. Then again j will be assigned the value of I, which is 0. Then if num is greater than 0, no, because 0 is greater than 0 is false, then this also will not be executed, so cout 0 will be displayed. But if other than any value, if you enter 1 2 3 like that, then this if text expression will hold false. That means the while loop and this if block will be executed, which is the for loop. Inside the body of the if block, we can see that the for loop will be executed, so you get a different output value. And in the while body of the while loop, you can see that the remainder is output is found through the modulus d1 mod 2, right? The quotient is found through division method, d1 divided by 2, and the array elements, that is x0 x1, stores the value of remainder, and d1 stores the quotient. Then after I gets incremented, as long as this while test condition holds true, right, the while body will keep on executing. So also here in this if test block, as long as this num is greater than 0, the for loop I equals to j minus 1, I is greater than equals to 0, and here the decrement I minus minus will keep on going. Alright, so now in order to understand this program better, okay, let's see the dry run table. So now in this particular program, the variables are declared, okay, so enter any integer number. So suppose 0 is entered, alright, so you can see that I've written here. So if the I equals to 0, then while 0 is not equals to 0, which is false, so the body of the while loop will not execute at all. Then j also is assigned the value 0, so if num is greater than 0, which is also false, so the for loop will also not execute, so directly you get the output cout 0 0. right? So if true, then execute cout. But if false, which means that suppose you enter a different integer number, suppose 8, so 8 is stored in num, then test condition will be done, but it will come out to be false. So when it is false, 8 will be assigned to d1, right? Then after that, I will get initialized to 0, so 8 not equals to 0, which is true. Then the formula will be executed, that is inside the body of the while loop. So r equals to 8 mod 2. When you divide 8 by 2, you get the remainder 0, and then when you divide 8 by 2, you get the quotient or the dividend as 4, right? Then x0, because here I equals to 0, right? So xi equals to remainder. So x0, the first array element, will store the value 0, right, which is the remainder value 0. Then d1 will store the quotient, which is 4. So here, then after that, I gets incremented, so I equals to 0 plus 1, 1, right? Now after that, next test condition is, after I gets incremented, the test condition will be done while d1 not equals to 0. So what is d1 now? d1 is 4, right? So 4 is not equals to so I equals to 1, 4 is not equals to 0, which is true. Then remainder is 4 mod 2, you still get 0. Quotient is 4 divided by 2, you get 2. Then now the I index has changed from 0 to 1, right? So now in the second array element x1, or in the second variable, again 0 will be stored, which is the remainder value, and d1 will store the value of 2. So you can see that it keeps on decreasing. Again I will get incremented by 2, so now I becomes 2. Then d1 mod not equals to 0, so which is 2 is not equals to 0, which is true. Then 2 mod 2 equals to 0. 2 divided by 2, you get 1. Then again the third array element x2, which will still store the value 0, that is remainder. d1 will become 1. Then I will again get incremented by 1, which is becomes 3. So now what is d1 now? d1 is 1, right? So 1 is not equals to 0, which is true. Then remainder will become 1 divided by 2, where you get 200, which is 1, right? So now you get the remainder 1, and quotient you get 0, because 2 divided by 1, the dividend will be 0. So now x3, that is the fourth array element, will store the remainder 1, alright? Then you get 0, and then here you get you increment by 1, so 4. Now after that, what is the value of d1 now? 0. So 0 is not equals to 0, which becomes false. Then you exit the loop. Now once you exit the loop, you come back here. So now what is the value of j? The value of j is now I, right? So what was the previous value of I? Previous value of I was 4, right? So now if num greater than 0, what is the value of num now? The value of num is 8, which you entered here, right? So I equals to 4 minus 1. The present value of I is 4, not 0, right? So I equals to 4 minus 1, you get 3. So now in the for loop, the test condition is done. So 3 is not 3 is greater than 0, which is true. Then cout xi, which is x change from 4 to 3, right? So in the third array element, what value will be stored? 1, right? So xi, why? Because here you can see that in x3, what value is stored? 1, remainder, right? Then I gets decremented to 2, right? Then again the test condition, 2 is greater than 0, true. So in the third array element x2, what value is stored? 0, right? Then I gets decremented by 1, so it becomes 1. 1 is greater than 0, true. Then in the second array element x1, again 0 is stored, right? then again I gets decremented by 0. 0 equals to 0. 0 is greater than 0, no. 0 equals to 0, true. So again x0, which stores the value 0. Then it gets reduced to -1. So -1 equals to 0, which is false. You exit the loop and then you get the output 1 0 0 0. Right. So by the so cout will first display this one, then next this, and next this, the reverse of this, right? So what you get is the output, the integer value of 8, you get the output as 1 0 0 0. So if you compare it with the number system table, you will see that it is the correct output that you're getting. So any integer number value, if you enter, you'll get the correct output of the binary equivalent. All right. So you type this program, run this program, and then try to understand this diagram table. All right.